Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we are beginning the new big project for this summer. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, check out the video above because Jerry and I just introduced it to you. I think it was actually yesterday that we did it. So we are moving with purpose, especially on this first portion of the project. What we are doing is we're going to redesign our entire front of our house, redesign that landscape. So we are going to take you along for that journey because this is the perfect time for so many of us to begin those projects and get them completed before the fall. That way these plants have a great time to get established before next summer hits. So what we are doing today is we are removing our existing boxwoods. So come on, it's going to be a fun, muddy mess today. As you know, we have a lot of great equipment here at Creekside. That's just, I guess that's a great benefit of being in the business. So this project today is going to be super simple and I would think pretty quick to do because we have the excavator. So we're going to use the excavator to remove all of the boxwoods that are in front of the house. We have 4 on each side. You can see that Jerry is beginning to remove the landscape lighting. Super simple. They are not buried lines, so he can just pull out the stakes, put them up on to the porch so that way they're nice and safe up there. Obviously, most people do not have an excavator at their home. So then how would you attack this job? Well, there's a couple of ways to do it, but the main thing, of course, is you're going to have to use some good physical labor. If you wanted to first whack back the shrubs as much as you can, that way it makes it easier for you to access the root system, go for it because we're removing these. We're not replanting them somewhere else. They're going to go back to the compost pile and return to the earth. So you can whack back that shrub as much as you possibly can because you're going to have to dig up that root system. We are going to be replanting in these beds, so we can't just cut them to the ground and leave the root system. We need that out. A great thing is if you can time it. We have gotten probably almost a week's worth of rain, so the ground is going to be super soft right now. So if you can time it when your ground is wet from rain, or if you don't have any rain, maybe you could set up like a soaker hose around those shrubs to get the soil more saturated, because we have red clay soil and when it gets dry it is like concrete, and that is not an exaggeration. So if you can moisten the soil, that will certainly help loosen it up. My other thing, take your time, y'all. We have an excavator, so we can pop these out really fast. If you're having to hand dig these, pace yourself. You don't have to get all of them out in one day. Maybe it's one a day, depends on the shrub. How big are they? How long have they been there? What type are they? Do their root systems go more down? Do they go out? All of that is going to play into how easy it is to remove them from your landscape. So that is what we are going to do today. And yeah, so that's the main plan, is to get them out of here, kind of get it semi cleaned up. So just join us for the fun, and then we'll return back here and see what is next on the docket. And then if you don't know what we're doing, I'll give you a quick little overview at the end of the video as to exactly what we are doing here in front of the house. I tell my kids that sometimes you have to make a mess to make it better, you know, and so that is what we are doing today. Right now we have got a lovely, beautiful mess on our hands, but we are moving forward, my friends. We are making progress. So don't let a little mess discourage you or, you know, stop you. Think long term. That's what we're doing here. So, of course, having the machinery makes all the difference in the world as far as the physical aspect of this job. But the thing is with the boxwoods, as you can probably see, because we really haven't done anything to the soil right here. I mean, Jerry just kind of raked up a little bit, but most of those roots were not exceptionally deep. They went more out, and then that is typically what most shrubs are going to do. They have very horizontal roots. Those first 6-8 inches of the soil is where they are living predominantly. So of course everything is out. But what is so amazing for Jerry and I when we look at this is because when we planted these boxwoods, like I will never forget, one, it was hotter than hot. The humidity dew point was like out the roof. We were dying, and we were only planting 8 shrubs. At this point in our life, we didn't have any of the machinery, so we were using a shovel, right? We didn't have our power planters, we didn't have anything. We were just using some good old physical labor. And this soil was absolutely horrendous. It was our typical red clay soil because we built our house, and there is a definite slope. So some of this was, well, most of this really was like some, you know, from construction. And if you've ever built a house or landscaped a new construction house, you know what I'm talking about. That soil right there is not good, whether you have red clay or not. So to look at this soil now, this is so encouraging. Yes, there absolutely is still some red clay once you get down in there. But to have this color soil is amazing. Y'all, I say it all the time. Soil is not the sexiest part of gardening, but the constant years of adding mulch, adding compost, using that hardwood mulch, whatever kind of like natural product mulch, it decomposes and then it turns into this beautiful compost. So we are slowly changing what our soil looks like here. So that is very, very encouraging. Now, the next thing that we have to do is clean up our mess. This side you can see is, this bed I think was naturally a little bit wider on this side. But if you can see, if I step back and you see the brick, because the brick really shows you the elevation change. So over here where Brenna is, we have 3 courses of brick showing on this corner right here. And then when you come on this end, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 courses on this side. So we really are on quite the slope. And that, you know, it just is what it is. But don't be afraid if you have a slope and your front is not perfectly level. Don't worry about it. We can handle that. It's not a problem. But so what we're going to do now is come through and we got to clean up because there are still some roots in here. We need to get as much debris up out of the bed as we possibly can. So we're going to get the debris out, then we will get the rakes and fill in the holes, fill in the gaps, make it kind of as smooth as possible. And then we are going to go ahead and lay down some of the Daddy Pete, that soil enhancer, which is like that aged pine bark fines, which is what we have been using as mulch for the last couple, well, for this year. I guess we started last year doing that. We're doing that. It may seem kind of wasteful or whatever you want to call it, because for us to do that when we're still in the construction process. We're doing that because we are in a period of rain right now. And because of that elevation change, not having the shrubs there, we are opening ourselves up to some erosion and making a big hot mess, and we do not want to do that. Speaking of big hot mess and erosion, part of this project is that you will notice that this downspout does not have a pipe to it. So when it rains, it just comes out of the downspout. That we do have like a concrete, you know, whatever those little thingies are called that you put underneath downspouts. so it catches it, but this is where a ton of water comes off the roof and was coming out. So that is part of our water problem. So what we will do today is, I'm pretty sure I have a piece of corrugated pipe on the other end, and so once we kind of get it all cleaned up, we will attach that corrugated pipe just loosely, because again, we are, for the next week, they're calling for possible thunder showers and rain and all of that. So we want to make sure that that water does not, because if we do get a gully washer, as we call them, we get a gully washer, then it will most definitely have a channel that just, and then it just comes out. And so that is what we are going to do. Let's see, so we're cleaning up. Yeah, so that's just gonna be the next thing. We're gonna get everything cleaned up, and then once it's all cleaned up, I'll meet you back here, and I'm gonna tell you our next steps as far as this landscape redesign. Okay, my friends, we are finished for today. It's starting to sprinkle again. It's spitting, as we say around here. It's spitting outside. Just means not a full rain, just a little mist. But so, if you're familiar with our projects and how we do things, sometimes we say, oh, we're gonna do this, and then we change our minds. Well, imagine that, we changed our minds. The only thing we changed our minds on really was not to go ahead and top dress with the Daddy Pete. Honestly, it got to be after lunch, and we're like, you know what? There's plenty of organic matter in there. It'll be fine. So we foregoed that step, and so there you go. Got the landscape lighting placed back in there. I did go ahead and turn it on just to make sure that everybody was working, that we didn't have any loose wires anywhere, and so it is bright, so you can't really see, but you now can see, you know, that they are turned on. So they're in. They are just literally just placed in there. I tried to space them evenly between the columns, but you know what? It is what it is. It's fine. So I've got the black corrugated pipe here. I'm going to let Jerry go ahead and hook that up. Again, that's just to prevent, if we do have a good bit of rain, it won't wash and make a total horrible mess right here. So we'll just take this black pipe for now and then just come out and let it dump out into the grass. So everything is kind of, quote, put back together. Jerry got the blower out and got the big debris out, so everything's okay back here. And yeah, fun thing is though is we were finding all sorts of little treasures in the flower bed. So here is one of the kids' bouncy balls from who knows when. It was buried in the dirt. My kids have not had bouncy balls in years. They're 20, 17, and 15. So I thought that was really fun. I was actually found 2 of those in there. So that was neat. All right, so moving forward, I know we were just here the other day talking about the design and what we're gonna do. We're already kind of thinking, as far as plants go, a little bit different. Of course, we are going to put boxwoods back in the back. These are going to be a shorter, smaller variety, so they're not going to get as big as the current boxwoods or the past boxwoods were. And then remember, we are going to eliminate all of the grass here. So there's not going to be any grass here or that goes down the side of the house. So that's going to be gone completely. So everywhere that you see grass here is going to be part of that flower bed. So what we're going to do is, like I said, the boxwoods all the way across the back. Then we're going to come in. Jerry is thinking Anna's Magic Ball, because I think we do want to go evergreen on this front, for the front of the house, to keep it evergreen, classic, and quote, simple. So the Anna's Magic Ball, which is of course that great chartreuse evergreen from Proven Winners. If you are in a zone similar to me, because we're a zone 8A, and this would get more hot afternoon sun. It's going to be in the shade for most of the day, but it's going to get the intense hot afternoon sun. If you have any experience with Anna's Magic Ball in a similar climate to mine, pipe in. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. I'm afraid that it's going to get, the afternoon sun's going to be too hot and it's going to burn. Jerry seems to think it's going to be okay, so we're having a little bit of a discussion on that particular plant. I love the color, I love the idea of it. I'm just afraid that the plant might burn. So again, throw your experience in the comments below, we would love it. And then I think instead of doing hydrangeas across the front, I think we're going to go with azaleas. We are North Carolina. I mean, you got to get, there are a few things as far as shrubs for a southern landscape as iconic as an azalea, next to like camellias. Well, I can't plant camellias in front of my house. But we're looking at either the Perfecto Mundo Double White, which we have in multiple other areas in the yard, or we're really leaning towards the Perfecto Mundo Pink Carpet because it's going to be low and wide, and that will be exactly what we would want because that would be what's on the front. And so that's kind of where we're leaning right now. We're gonna have to make up our mind here pretty quickly because you know, got to move with purpose. And then we are going to stick with the Firelight Tidbit underneath the Hortsman. So we have this blue Atlas cedar. It is a dwarf Hortsman. She's not really growing much taller. She's just getting nice and fat. And so this whole bed will be, because it's going to extend, so it's going to come out another 3-4 feet at least out. And so we're going to do the mass planting of the Firelight Tidbit there, so to kind of go underneath the Hortsman. So really kind of starting on the edge of the porch right here and then go around. We'll see how much room we have in front if we put annuals in there. Probably the first year we probably could do it until those tidbits get nice and mature. So this is step 1 in the process. Step 2. What are we going to do next? So the next thing that we got to do is all of the drainage issues, because like we've talked about before, nothing is flat here at Creekside. Everything, we deal with water constantly. We have gotten really experienced with trying to direct water. You never really can control water. You can try to manage it. So that's what we're going to do. So part of that is that we're going to put a French drain in where the grass is. So coming down the center, because it stays really wet right here. And part of that is because of the way the slope is. We're going to be working on that. But in the meantime, we're going to come through and put that French drain in. Probably have a couple of catch basins. Jerry's the expert on that. So we'll figure that out. And then obviously this downspout has got to be piped. So we'll have that corrugated pipe in there and dug. So then the question is, we do have a pipe that comes through here. We could connect to that pipe because it dumps in the front porch. I can't even talk, y'all. In the front yard, thank you, into the front yard. Or we could come, like put them together as a Y and come across, because we have a basin right here that drains really, really well. So Jerry's leaning more towards going this direction, especially if we end up having to remove the sidewalk, because remember, we're going to keep the exact shape of the sidewalk and everything, but we're going to be using like cobblestone pavers for the new sidewalk. So right now we're exploring, is it a smart option that you can use this concrete as the base and put the cobblestone on top? Obviously you have to level it out with all the just the fines, like the gravel fines, the little itty bitty little fines, almost like sand. So can we use this as that base, or is it better to rip out the concrete and start fresh? So we're doing research on that now, so time will tell. But definitely if you have to rip up the sidewalk, then definitely we'll just drain all of that out and let it dump out into the yard, because the grass could always use some extra water, right? So that is going to be the next big project, is to get all of the drainage, because we can't do anything until we get the drainage fixed. But yes, I mean, she's naked. That's what everybody's like, oh my gosh, does it look so different? It does look so different, because yeah, you can really see everything. And yeah, the front porch foundation is definitely naked and looks completely different from the before and the after. It's crazy. So anyway, the fun continues here. We were blessed to have a cloudy, cool, rainy-ish day. I'm telling y'all, here we are in the middle, beginning to go into the middle of August, and like, it's insane. I haven't even sweated today, and we're outside, and it's fantastic. So anyway, if you have found this fun, informative, want to find out some more videos with some projects that we do, I want you to check out this video that I link above. And then, of course, if you find all that fun and you like that, of course, we would love it if you would subscribe to Gardening with Creekside. That way you don't miss those 5 videos that we do each and every week. We'll keep you updated on this. We're going to be moving with purpose. And yeah, we'll see you on the next video. Bye, friends.